we have the boat all loaded. We did pack the tent poles and the stakes in the tent bag, in the dry bag. The fly's just stuffed in the boat because it's soaked. I'm just doing one last check of our tent site. Make sure we don't leave anything behind. It's a long way to come get it. There's the dry spot where we slept in, and I do not see anything. We set a bunch of stuff on this log, so I want to make sure that I check both sides, that nothing fell off and underneath it. And we're ready to rock. The lake has come way down. It's like 9:30. We usually leave by 9. But that 30 minutes, we actually got the fly about 3/4 dry. It's just not dry. And the waves have come way down, so we'd be ready to rock. We are leaving this finger and going around the corner, so that's the last shot we're gonna have of the southeast arm. I'm calling it a delta, I guess that's what it is. And we're headed up around the corner, looking for campsite 5E9. It should be, I don't know, 8-10 miles ahead. And the waves are gonna push us all the way there. Okay, we have decided that right there is an animal of some sort. It's big enough to either be a bear or a buffalo or a bush, but it's like goodness gracious, I've got way zoomed out here. We're here in reality. Like the shade of it keeps changing. Like it goes from black to lighter brown. But so far away, I have no idea what it is. So we just passed another campsite, and I would have taken you ashore to show it to you. It looked like a much nicer site than ours, just for the amount of flat ground they had. But there was about 8 people there. They were hiking the Thoroughfare. It's nice to talk to someone. I love my wife, and we've been chatting with each other pretty hard for the last however many days it is. But it was nice to talk to another person. There's a big old crow behind that dead tree. You probably can't see. Okay, we started hitting some water again. Got the occasional whitecap out there, but you know, it's at our butt. So we're just riding them. Occasionally we'll hit a wave big enough that the boat surfs down it. There we go. And we're going about 4 miles an hour, which is crazy, because even on flat water when we're paddling, we're doing 3.5. And there's our setup. I got the cooler, solar panels going, dry bag, and the 2 buckets. That was a douche bag, not a dry bag. Oh, from afar we saw the orange marker. We were E2, 5E2. That last group was 5E3, so that makes sense that we're at 5E4. I would totally come back and do this again. So I'm just trying to get an idea. And that's an okay tent spot. You what? Yep. Beach access. Nice fire area. Another tent site. I think you'd take a bath if you, that's kind of a hole, but a tent site. I haven't seen the bear box, so that means there's not one. There's got to be a pole somewhere. I think this is the best tent spot I've seen so far. And it's just right around from the campfire. And then apparently, as I have done every single time, I walked right by the bear pole. Usually it's by the fire area. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. It's right when you first come in. So this would be a good campsite. I actually think it's a little better than the one we were at. Looks like you're on your own for toilets. I've been spoiled with all these pit toilets. Okay, we got through a section where the waves were crossing us. I wasn't able to get the camera out. I wasn't able to do anything but steer and paddle. We're on a section where they're hitting us in the butt again. It's a much nicer ride. So we stopped at this little point. The waves are pushing the water back up here, but this is Clear Creek coming out. It comes out of Brimstone Basin. There's a campsite just up around this corner. I believe that we're really on this point right here. We're camping there somewhere. It seems like between that point and that point, and this is the southeast arm. That's the opening of it. But we're gonna be to camp again super early, so we're gonna take a long lunch. We're gonna go check out a couple more campsites before we get to ours. Let's see if these waves will calm down. They're not bad going that way, but cutting across this way, man, we're having to go into them, get away from shore far enough, and then turn around and ride them back to shore, and we just zigzag all the way back and forth. But, man, it's not snowing on us, it's not raining on us anymore. Sun came out, it's a beautiful day. So these waves would freak most people out, and in all fairness, I guess I've never said I am in a homemade canoe. That shouldn't surprise anybody. I make most of the stuff I have. This was made by a friend of mine though, and I bought it 20 something years ago. It's a cedar strip canoe, but it's a whitewater river canoe. So it handles these waves way better than a flat bottomed lake canoe would. But Steph keeps saying splashing into these waves is fun. It's like a ride at Disneyland, except at Disneyland, you know, of course everything's on a rail and you know you're gonna be okay. So I've been telling her to call me Walt, because everything is okay. I got it. What a good tour guide I am. So she's been teasing me and calling me Walt now. reached again. We were just right on that point. Said, I don't know, we're just not in that big of a hurry. We were trying to find the campsite here. We can see the bear poles. The sign's clear up here around the corner. And it looks like the triangle's either facing, or the diamond is facing the wrong way, which it is. There it is. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. This one should be 5. No, 6. 6. Okay, that makes me feel better. 7 is an offshore one, which means 8 is on this point and 9 is just around the corner, and that's us. So that's really how close we are. Holy crap. That is a proper fire pit. Cut logs. I mean, man, if they put a hearth over top of that, you could bake in it. I like this one. There's your poles. Double polar. We got a lot of time today, and there's a creek right here, so I may go put my shoes and socks on and go for a hike. Chipmunks are already mad that we're here. All right, and they got them a proper,
pretty sketchy, so
proper bathroom there, other than it looks like it's been through the ringer. Anyway, this site is very friendly. And it's a horse site. There's hoof prints all over the place, and it smells like horse poop, which is a good smell. Not very many animals' poop smells good. And then there's another sign out here. Oh, man, is this the trail? This has got to be the trail. Yeah, 5E6 is pointing into the campground, so this has got to be the main trail or convergence of a bunch of stuff. Well, fair enough. Okay, we're in pretty rough water again. This is hard to show you, but the cliff line here is a little different, but we're, I believe, officially out of the arm. It's been super hard to film anything. We've had these really pretty cliffy formations and then the sagebrushy meadows. Perfect for some wildlife, but this should be E5E. I gotta count it out. 8. Yes, 5E8. We're 5E9, so we're just right around the corner from our campsite. We just ran into a bunch of backpackers at that last campsite, and they stayed in 5E9 last night, and there's a buffalo in camp. So I'm actually excited. One of us is not as excited as the other. But this is 5E8. I did find the bear pole right off. We thought we could see the bear boxes. I thought we saw a bear box from shore though, but it must have just been a log or something.
Brown stuff way further up.
Okay, it's further up. It's just going to be some brush. Anyway, yeah, tent spot right here. Not a great one, but there's this here and that there. It'd be tough to get flat, but we slept on hills every single night. You just have to stuff stuck under your pad. And level stuff out. Anyway, there's another hilly spot. And maybe I'm on the trail. I don't think the trail would go right through their camp, but it seems to just keep going for no reason. Maybe this is the trail to the trail. Anyhow, it just keeps trucking through there. Waves are still rolling. They quit breaking on us, which is helpful. But this side of the lake is definitely the wind blows to it. It's cliffy. If we would have capsized back there a little ways, I mean, you just get pushed up against the cliff and your boat smashed to pieces. So we were for sure keeping our distance. Okay, this is home for tonight. Got a full lake view of all the fingers, everything. This is 5E9. Now they said there was a little bit of a hike up the grass to the campsite, and we're like, well, we had that last night, and last night was like 20 feet. That's a big old buffalo turd.
There's a nice red fly right up there.
I'm excited.
I may not sleep tonight.
Okay, well, there's the bear pole.
Where he said the buffalo was.
But buffaloes have legs. He's got up and
That thing is fresh. It's got a skin on it, but it's still fresh.
cruised somewhere. All right, campfire. Yeah, it looks like somebody tended right there. Or a buffalo slept right there. Because there's a buffalo turd. Well, many buffalo turds. Let's find a tent spot. Looks like up here's nice. This might be the place. I think this is a good tent spot. So this is the trail to the trail. I haven't seen Mr. Buffalo. There's plenty of sign of him being here, but knowing that he was here a couple hours ago, hopefully he'll come back. That's the only thing that'll make this seem like we're in Yellowstone. But it's early enough in the day, we'll hike around and see if we can find him or one of his buddies. We got all of our tents set up and everything dry, which is nice. Hasn't been dry in forever. And we're taking the trail to the trail. There is fresh buffalo poop all over our camp. You can tell all the places he's laid down. There's lots of big piles and little piles. So there's for sure more than one. But we wanted to go see if we can find There's one more campsite in here. It's wet there. And I'd love to see some animals. And here's a gigantic meadow. So we scanned that big meadow and there just wasn't sign of anything. And if ever there was a happy place for a buffalo to hang out, but the sign said there's another campsite. It was 300 yards this way. There's lots of deer tracks. And lots of mosquitoes. It's late enough in August that the mosquitoes haven't been bad. There'll only be 2 or 3 of them, but they are persistent little suckers. We walked down the trail like, I don't know. It said the camp was 300 yards. And I bet we went 3/4 of a mile. And just decided it wasn't there. Then we came back and saw this like faint little trail off to the side. And I can see the marker for the camp right there, close up with my finger. Anyway, right there. So we're gonna walk it. This big old meadow with only us in it. Okay, this is 5E7. This is more of a horse or a stock camp. Good views here. Big tent sites. What I wasn't sure about is water. It is not at all close to the lake, but it is very close to whatever this is. Well, we came back to camp and we've gone out on the bluff, kind of in front of our camp. So that's Dot Island. Let's see if I can get closer. Dot Island out there, Frank's Island there, the Flat Mountain Arm would be there, the South Arm there, and the Southeast Arm there. And then our camp is just right back through those trees, a couple hundred yards. We walked back to this meadow from our camp. It's like 100-ish yards. It's getting afternoonish, chance of a storm as every evening. We thought we'd come watch it for a little while and see if anything shows itself.
It's dying down.
Yeah, we're just laying here in bed. Wind is starting to die down. The waves are starting to die down. It's about 9 o'clock. Having a little bit of a sunset going on over there, but all the lightning going on across the lake. It's just pretty constant. You can see it lighting up. It's been a good day. Spent quite a bit of time in that meadow and nothing ever came out. And I've walked both the, there's a good one. So the shoreline here, and there's a buffalo close by because there's fresh, wet poop everywhere, but he's a good hider. Never saw him. Maybe by morning he'll show himself. But we're just enjoying the night sky and going to bed. So we will see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. A little windy, got a little bit of rain last night, but just take a minute to remove the tent to the sun. Last night, I grabbed what I thought was a full canister for this trip of fuel. Last night cooking dinner, just broke a boil and the fuel canister ran out. So this morning, thank goodness it's the last day. It'll be fig bars cereal bars for breakfast, which is fine. I think we have 3 hours of paddling to get out of here. But we're gonna take one more walk back to that meadow. See if we can see something feeding this morning while we're eating our cold breakfast. And then we're all but packed up and ready to go. I slept in almost 8 this morning, which is pretty unusual. Oh, there's the last view of the meadow. Don't see anything in it. Okay, well, this is not exactly the start that we were hoping for. Usually it's pretty calm in the morning, but the wind just kind of keeps coming and going. But we're going to push off. We've got everything in the boat except for me. We're going to push off, and then around the corner here, this will be more to our tail for a little while, and then we're just going to play it by ear and see how it goes. So we've gotten out of the bays, or around these corners into these little bays. The water's gotten much calmer because the wind is coming from around the other side. Still some good waves. You can see them roll past the boat, but a much nicer paddle. And that grassy meadow there is the highway. The meadow, that grassy hillside with the cliffs on it is the meadow. We've got to come around underneath those cliffs, and our truck will be at just the left-hand side there. So that's kind of nice to see coming, I guess. So we took a detour. I don't know if there's 1 or 2 more campsites along the route. If there's another one, I'll show you, but I think this one's it. It is 5H1, and it looks like the barren wastelands. Let's go up and take a look at what there actually is here. I think that, I mean, this is the closest one, unless there's another one, to the road, it's the trailhead, and I knew the name of it. It's Sedge Bay, I believe, is where we're pulling out. And this would be the closest one to it. But I mean, yeah, there's a bear box and a fire pit. And obviously they've had a fire through here. It's been a while back. Matter of fact, I may have been up here because I remember there being a fire on this side of the lake, and we were at Bridge Bay. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of real flat tent spots. So if you were a hammock camper, this would just put you just in the right place, but not great. Yeah, and it just gets tangled briars as you go in here and deadfall. All right, well, not for me. I'm sure people enjoy it, but it's not for me. Yeah, it looks like the only and the best, flattest campsite. These two trees have fallen and blocked the path too, so it'd be tough to get to, and they've taken half the side up. I'm trying to think as we were coming out of either the flat mountain arm into the south arm or the south arm into southeast arm, there was the burned out campsite. I think it has a leg up on this one, but just barely. They're both still camping in Yellowstone, so they're not bad, but there are way better sites out there. It's got a nice beach, full ocean view. We're starting to hear the highway from here, so you can get a little car noise, which seems weird in the backcountry, but oh man, that is skipping rock heaven. There's like 500 flat rocks right here. This whole beach is flat rocks. That's new. Like every single one of them is made to skip. Guess we'll have to wait here for a minute so I can skip some rocks. So there are lots of cliffy sections on this back, or the east side, I guess, of the lake. That are very pretty, but man, if a guy tipped a boat over here, you'd have a hard time finding a spot to get everything up right. And we still got some good sized waves and water at us. Okay, so that bald eagle, sorry, I'm trying to steer and paddle, just flew by. He's got a big old trout in his talons. That was quite a sight, but I was paddling and not taking pictures for some reason. Okay, we beached again. We're taking out just up the road there. There's a set of cabins here. I've only seen them on Google Earth. They're not really labeled as anything. I'm guessing it's another patrol cabin. Yeah, but there's a boat out. Usually they're inside, so I don't know if somebody will be here or not. There's either a toilet or a gauging station, something over there. We'll go look. Yeah, there's locks on everything, but it's a nice greeting. That seems like a government canoe, if ever there was one. All right, well. It's a 1950s wheelbarrow. Weighs just as much empty as it does full. We'll wander around, see if there's anything else of excitement. There is a creek over here. I'd like to go look at it anyway. Looks to be a gauging station more than anything. Okay, that would be the 9 Mile Trail takeout. And the beach we're taking out is right there, but we got to go past these cliffs. And the waves are pushing us into them, so we're a little further out than I probably wish we were, but that's where we're at. All right, the waves just got absolutely fierce here at this landing. But I do want to point out, while we were still in the boat, there's a buffalo. Finally feel like we're in the park. And my truck is right there. We never capsized. And we should have a dozen times. Okay, we made it off the lake. We made it back. I'd have to get the total for the trip off my phone. But what did you think?
It was good. It's exhausting.
It was good.
Shrunk my love handles.
It was exhausting. I'm a little tone on the top end now that I wasn't from the high route. So maybe I'm more proportioned. Anyway, that was super bucket list thing. It was awesome. It was sad that we had to see a buffalo like when we got off the lake, when one took a crap right in our last camp.
That was probably our buffalo.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it. Anyhow, thank you for coming along. It was really a really great trip. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next trip. All right, we came to the lake lodge. Get me a double bacon burger, and Steph got some fries and a huckleberry milkshake. We did 75.8 miles, and it was 30 hours of moving time, paddling time. So, well worth it.